what he's been able to do for X amount of years here?
Consistency, and that's his personality. I think ever going back to Farragut High School, that's how he's operated. A little bit under the radar, I would imagine, in terms of who he was and the winning component that is associated with him, but consistent in every way, academically, socially, how he treats others, how he goes about his everyday life. He's a very good competitor. He might be internal in how it looks, but he's a tremendous competitor, so he gets what he deserves.
Did that maybe help with the ease the decision when you switched him from second or to third day in the middle of the season, knowing that he could handle it?
He doesn't get alarmed about things like that. And I think at the root of it, he's all about, and I know you've heard this about people, but this is real. He just wants what's best for the team. And if what's best for the team is him pitching at the end of the game, in the middle of the game, the start of the game, he's going to make that adjustment quick. But he's not going to show you any motion. There's not going to be any personality change. He's going to do what he needs to do. He gets that from his parents.
Where was he on the knowing how to pitch versus knowing how to throw scale when he got here?
I'd say he was on the upper side of knowing how to pitch. I think that's what we got when we got him. I thought we found a kid that had pitch ability, could land different pitches, and attack the strike zone. He's never been anyone really that has walked too many people, so the walks for him are a little bit out of character, but I do think he's starting to find himself once again. He started a little bit last year, and at times this year too, and it's been frustrating for him because when you're a command pitcher and you don't have that command, it's frustrating to understand maybe where it left you, where it went, but I feel like he's made very nice adjustments with Brownie in the last couple of weeks.
You're 3 weeks to go in the season. You're sitting on top of the division. How important is it to stay there? How much do you like where you are right now?
It's important to be consistent. It's just important to play well. I think that's the only thing that we think about right now when we talk to the team and communicate with the team is just handling the training environment leading up to the game, and then handling the training environment right before the game, and then trying to play as clean as we possibly can to give us the best outcomes. But it's been pretty consistent and simple in terms of their approach. And I say they're the team. Certainly the older kids have a lot to do with that, but it's been enjoyable to be around them since the time we started in August, and I think the outcomes are a reflection of their consistency in how they're handling their academics, what they're doing off the field, which is notable, and then what they're doing on.
What's the key to maintaining that consistency when you're on a stretch like you guys are on right now?
I just think centering the brain. I just think being able to center yourself on what's most important right now. I think a lot of coaches and teachers talk about trying to stay centered, but I think that's difficult for humans in general. So to see 19, 20, 21-year-old guys come out and just replicate consistent behaviors every day, it's refreshing. Not knowing what the outcomes are going to be, but explaining to them that if you do replicate good behaviors, they're more than likely you will get those. But I think that's the main component of any type of success is being able to center yourself, and they've been pretty consistent that way.
We talked with Drake before the season, and he talked about having a certain mentality of being a Friday guy and wanting to set the tone for the team. Are you at all surprised about what he's been able to do to this point this year for you guys?
Not surprised, because he's been in that role for quite some time. And again, I know I'm overusing the word here, but it's just consistent with him too. I mean, ever since he's been here as a freshman, we've put him in a starting position. He's handled it. He's durable. He's got an edge to him. He's got a streak, and he's got a high care level. And I think anytime you have a high care level for what you're doing, it's really, really important. He's selfish in the right way, and I say that totally respectful, because he wants to own his performances, He wants to own them because they're important to him, but they're important to the team. And he don't want to let anyone down. So I would just say that he's handled it because he really cares about his business.
Continuing the consistency theme with Austin Martin, I mean, you put him at the top of the lineup for a reason. I mean, what's been his, I guess, best asset about being able to get on base as much as he has?
He competes. He competes in everything. He's a competitor. He just wants to beat people. It's pure and simple with him. He's just a pure baseball player. He loves the environment of competition, and he just wants to win. You don't always get those types of players. He's not trying to posture. He's not trying to look good. He's not trying to do anything to grab anyone's attention, but because he doesn't do all of those things, he does. And he just competes. He competes in the batting cage. You get him down there in the training environment, and he's very serious. He's very locked in. He's very deliberate towards what he's doing. Now, he's got a great personality, and he's fun, and he's a smart ass, but at the same time, when he's in that element of competition, he's not, no fun there. He's just trying to win.
Make it more impressive in such a young guy being able to do that at this age?
Yeah, it is. I was wondering what we were getting there. And right along with that, you know, the compete piece is starting to happen off the field from an academic standpoint. And I've always thought that those two things correlate. They go hand in hand. If someone's competing and they have a care level for what they're doing off the field, that there's a natural switch that happens to and on, and he's starting to do that too. So yeah, I'm just happy the way he's matured. I really am. He's used Vanderbilt very, very well, and it's helped him.
Speaking of academics, how challenging is this weekend after finals every year for your teams?
It is challenging. It takes a lot out of them. I mean, there's a lot of long nights. There's a lot of long days. There's papers and exams that are to be turned in and done at the same time. There's some anxiety associated with it, but they handle it. They just don't have much time, but they see the carrot at the end. They see the time element here. When they get on that bus and plane tomorrow, it's behind them, with the exception of one we'll leave them behind, and then we're getting them back in tomorrow night. But I think that's a big relief to them, and I'm very happy for them when it's over. They can just function in the baseball world and the strength and eating world, and they enjoy that too.
Tim, what do you see in South Carolina?
Strength. I always see strength, and I always think South Carolina can pitch. They're just a very difficult team to play. They're a very difficult team to play at their place. They have a very strong fan base. Mark's a good coach. His staff, they're always well prepared. The best team we're in the SEC is the one we're playing, and that's South Carolina. And it's just another strong challenge for us. So we just kind of focus in on playing consistent, good baseball to have an opportunity to play well.
What's it say about the depth of this team that you can be down to your third center fielder and he hits a couple home runs last night?
That is that's been a strength, and I can't really tell you, David, that Isaiah would have had that opportunity. The one thing I told the freshmen this year is, I said, you're going to have to get very, very good at watching and being patient, because if you play, we're not going to be very good. The guys on this team that have to play, in my opinion, are the guys that are older, that have been around the block, and they've stayed healthy, and I don't take that for granted either. But the younger guys in their time that have been inserted as of late have done a nice job inserting themselves, and Isaiah's one of them. You know, Isaiah's got a few spot starts here, and every time he's got a start, he's impacted the game. You walk away from the field going, wow, who is that kid? You know, there's a strength and size element to him that's different. And then, you know, you could say that about a couple other guys too. Tate Colwick had a good game last night. No one's heard of Tate as of late. Very good kid, but, you know, last night gets in and hits the ball around the ballpark a couple of times. So I think it's going to help them a lot having watched this older group play. They've learned a lot, and if they haven't, shame on them, because if I knew that these guys were only going to be here for 7-8 months, and I could, assuming JJ Blade leaves after this year, I would be on every single thing that those guys do. If I'm a younger guy, you need to pay attention to the guys in front of you, because there's tremendous merit and value by watching what they model every day, both on and off the field. And from a coaching standpoint, it's just been very enjoyable to watch for me.
Saw Brian Reynolds get his first home run last night. He's had quite a week. No surprise that he's making the most of his opportunity. It seems like he's finally getting a little place there.
Yeah, I told Macias, Macias played center field here 3 years. I said, you're the second best center fielder we've had. And I've always thought Reynolds was, the best. We've had some great ones. Jaron Kendall, Antoine Richardson, Connor Harrell. We've had some great ones. I didn't know those guys would get after me for saying that, but I thought Brian was one of those kids that he didn't play center field until he got here, but boy, he turned into a real good one, and that was throwing and fielding and jumps and so on. But that home run he hit some of those here too in center field, and they were of the walk-off variety and game-winning variety. I remember the one he hit against Missouri. But I certainly felt at some point in time he was going to play at that level and succeed. So good to see him last night. Good to see Bueller finally get another win. It was bobblehead night here for him, and to lower Walker, I told him, yes, we had his bobblehead on a weekday, not a weekend. So it's always good to stick Walker when we can.
How hard is it to keep up?
Yeah, we got a small one, small brain, big head.
How hard is it to keep up with all your guys playing professionally these days? I mean, more and more every year, right?
Yeah, there's a few, and that's something we're proud of. It's the first thing I do in the morning. I scan Baseball America and just check them all real quick, so I have an idea of what they're doing. The MLB Network, and certainly the highlights on your phone or on your app I get. So in the morning, working out, you can see that. I always watch that. So yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy following them. It makes it nice for us to be able to watch guys impacting the game at another level.